Welcome, I'm Dennis Brunssen. I'd like to have you hit the subscribe button and bell notifications so you can get heads up on all my videos that are coming out. Today we're going to talk about something that is really not music related, but does have a lot to do with audio and video production. I had a contract up in North Scottsdale by the runway with a website company for several years and put together a video and audio production within the website company, and had a nice office, equipment, and everything like that. We had a lot of high profile customers that would come in. We had a deal with Herbalife, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a lot of local businesses, built a lot of websites. One day a gentleman by the name of Keith DeGreen comes in. His company is DeGreen Wealth Management. Guy's a very intelligent, nice guy. Ran for governor and Senate in Arizona, and he had a meeting with the owners, and what he wanted to do was broadcast his radio show, which he had had several years ongoing at KFYI radio in Phoenix, and wanted to broadcast it from his new yacht he was going to buy while at sea, going around the world. It's called the Global Adventure. And every Sunday we were going to broadcast from wherever we were out in the ocean back starting at 7 a.m. local time back in Phoenix. So after that meeting, a couple days later, the owners came to me and said, Keith's coming back in. He's going to ask you some questions and seeing if you want to get involved with this project that he's doing. I said, sure, no problem. And so I sit down with Keith. He goes, Dennis, I want you to put a radio station on my yacht, and we're going to broadcast while at sea. First time ever a regularly scheduled radio show to be broadcast while at sea, going around the world. He says, can you do it? And at the time I didn't know how to do it, but I said yes, and I figured it out. There was quite a bit involved. Trying to get the signals up to the satellites back from the ship over to KFYI radio. I mean, it was like, back and forth, several trips flying around from, in California back over to Phoenix over at the radio station, but we finally got it figured out. Now, Keith was lucky. He didn't have to wait a year to get his boat. Somebody ordered a boat, and I guess they didn't take delivery, so Keith bought a 55-foot Nordhaven whaler, brand new ship, and had it docked over at Dana Point, California in the marina. And it was a fabulous boat, man. It was so exciting when I first walked on board. I mean, to see all the nice components and bedroom, shower, direct TV popping up out of the cabinet. I mean, freezers. It was superb. So I went over and met Keith for a couple of days in June, and we discussed what equipment we wanted to put onto the boat. And so we went out to, basically gave me carte blanche, and I went out and bought all the top-notch equipment. I bought cameras, microphones, wireless units. I built 2 computers from scratch. Everything basically had to be duplicated in case something went down. Put the audio panel in, the control panels, video cameras, everything we needed, video software. And the hardest part of all this was getting the Comrex unit, which is a unit that is used by many TV and radio stations to broadcast from remote locations. Getting the signal so there was no delay back to the radio station. I mean, you had to have somewhat of a delay. I think we had to have 5 or 7 second delay. Anyhow, because of federal regulations, in case somebody said something wrong. But then we had another delay situation going on. So it was really, we had to get it down to the millisecond, basically broadcasting from the ship up to the satellite, back down to KFYI, and then out to the radio listeners. And so I was off to San Diego at the point after we got everything installed. So we put all the software in for navigation and cameras on the outside. And we headed down to San Diego, and we do some trips down to Mexico. Just short broadcast on Sunday morning, do some tests until Keith was going to head out over to, the first stop would be Honolulu, over there in the harbor. So and that actually, it took like a whole year. So we're now a year later at this point, and we christened the ship. And I remember the first time we brought the boat down from Dana Point, and I remember Keith was pulling it in. The slip was K1 over there. And I said, Keith, man, you're coming in too strong. You're coming in wrong. I'm down at the dock, and the other guy's there, and Wolf, and we're like yelling at Keith, and he smashes in the pier. Smashed up the boat. Boy, he got upset about that, but next day we had somebody working on it and fixing it, and we got it back to where it should be, like new. But we sat down there for a couple of weeks. So we went down to Mexico, went out the ocean in California. It was fabulous. You know, it was nice weather in the springtime in California. So the guys had got everything together, and they hired a cook and got the necessary equipment for protection loaded up on the ship. He had a CPR unit, whatever we needed, basically rolling, because if somebody gets sick, you need something out there, out in the ocean. So that took some time, got all that together, and I had just I got a place down at Queen Creek. I bought a new house, and I set up one of my rooms as a studio. So when I wasn't on the ship, I could remotely monitor everything from my studio. And plus, I actually had another office studio up in the airport. So they first headed off to Hawaii, and I didn't go at that point. I went over there later because Keith calls me up. He goes, "We had a problem." I said, "What happened?" And he says, "Somebody hijacked our website." And so I had to fly over to Honolulu real quick and take care of that. And got that all backing up, and we were up and running again, heading off to first stop was, I forget, actually, out in the Pacific. And so the whole thing ended up with several broadcasts from the boat. Everything's going really good. And there was a big storm over by Hong Kong, and then Keith, it was too dangerous. A 55-foot boat out in the ocean, it's not that big, and so Keith, he ended up selling the boat to some rich guy out of Thailand. But it was a great experience. I have one of the links below to a video I've done, kind of like gives you a little bit of tour of the boat and everything, and it tells you about all the components we put on the boat. And I would say it was a great adventure. I just want to tell you about it. I've done a lot of, besides music, I've done a lot of other stuff other than music. I was still playing at night, but during the day I was out there, doing something. And being in Scottsdale, you're always meeting somebody, and somebody's got to do something, and all sorts of business going on. So that's my story of the global adventure. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you very much.